Welcome to the Canadian Immigrant Web Conference Series, sponsored by WebMill Micro Lending, the industry-specific web conference for international educated accounting and financial professionals. Please note this will be recorded and posted on our website to watch for those who cannot attend in person. My name is Monica Manga, and I'm the guest moderator for this web conference. I'm an HR professional who has worked in both the public and private sector and recently graduated from the master's level program for human resources, as well as completed my undergraduate degree in Bachelor of Commerce. I'm thrilled to introduce our first speaker from the Chartered Professional Accountants of British Columbia, Shelley. Sheila works in CPA BC as a student recruitment officer. She plays a key role in recruitment and advising workforce professionals, newcomers, and international students on how to pursue CPA programs and confers the Canadian Professional Accounting Designation, CPA, in BC, Canada. Sheila has combined 13 years of work experience under legacy of CGBC Association and CPA BC in recruiting and advising, and is passionate about helping prospects attain their career goals. If you have any questions for Sheila, please feel free to type them in the chat by clicking the chat or the Q&A button and typing them on the right-hand side, and we will answer them at the end of the presentation. You can also email us at info@canadianimmigrant.ca. Thank you, Sheila, for joining us today. Please take it away.
Thanks, Monica, and thank you to Canadian Immigrant for hosting this fantastic web series. I will now share my screen and start the presentation. Thanks. So I like to title this presentation, Accounting Certification and Employment in Canada. Now, I realize many individuals on the line plan on making Canada their new home. So regardless of where you decide to immigrate in Canada, a lot of the information that I'm sharing in this presentation today will be applicable to you. Me, myself, I work at the Chartered Professional Accountants of British Columbia. I work at CPA BC, but again, all the information that I'm sharing today is very applicable regardless of where you decide to immigrate in Canada. For now, let's begin. So in my time together with you, I will be discussing the CPA designation, highlighting some of our prominent CPA members, how you can become a CPA. This means what are our admission requirements. I will also talk about the CPA program itself, which consists of education, examinations, and work experience in accounting and finance. Close to the end, I will be discussing some of the free resources that we will be providing to you, our students, and our membership. So these are resources on the academic side and also resources on the employment side, as well as a few helpful resources in regards to what the world is looking like today during COVID-19. Lastly will be my contact information should anyone have any further questions and concerns after exiting this webinar. So a bit of a history lesson. So yes, in the country of Canada, we have one professional accounting designation. This is called Chartered Professional Accountants, CPA Canada. Now, you may have noticed within Canada, we have provinces and territories. And we also have CPA provincial offices. So why do we have so many CPA offices in Canada? So you can think of it this way. CPA Canada is the mothership, and all the CPA provincial offices are the children of CPA Canada. Now, the reason for this is because there are many persons that live in Canada. So it's just too many for CPA Canada's one office to take care of alone. So that's why you see CPA provincial offices. A winning designation. So with the CPA designation, we really encourage individuals, what employers are looking for is you. What does that mean? You want to dedicate and apply your personality to whatever career path you choose, whether it be accounting and finance, or perhaps human resources, or engineering, or sales. You're that something special that the employer wants. Now, if we take a look at the screenshots on the laptop here, I want you to take particular attention to the employers. where these designated CPA members are working. Now, as you can see, Aritzia, LifeLabs Medical Laboratory, TELUS, and KPMG. As you can see, when you are a designated CPA member, you decide what jobs to apply to. You decide how to guide and lead your accounting career as a designated CPA member. Now, for those of us that are currently enrolled in the CPA program, that control and flexibility is still in your hands. You still have the control and flexibility to decide which jobs you want to apply to and with which employers. So this is where I really encourage individuals. This is where you bring your personality. This is where you want to connect your natural talents and interests. If you have a natural interest in health and fitness, you can apply for accounting and finance jobs with employers whose cater around health and fitness. Demand, growth, and compensation. The CPA designation is a prestigious designation sought after by employers. You will see that when you start applying for jobs of a certain level, that is more senior level, you will notice in the job description, many of these jobs require that the person is CPA designated. So there's a lot of growth and demand on the employer side for individuals that are CPA designated. There are job opportunities domestically and abroad. So the job opportunities abroad, CPA designation in Canada has many mutual recognition agreements, or MRAs, with many international professional accounting bodies. So this means you can apply for an international professional accounting body and vice versa. Now, later in the presentation, I will have a slide showing you which are the international professional accounting bodies that CPA Canada has this mutual recognition agreement with. Job security. All companies have an accounting and finance department, and if not, companies hire a CPA to handle their financials. Again, this is where you bring your personality to the table. This is a career tailored to your interests. So again, if you're someone who is interested in health and fitness, apply for jobs in the accounting and finance department in those health and fitness employers. Global recognition and respected. The average salary or compensation for designated CPA members in all working sectors, age ranges, and regions in Canada is $141,000 per year. Now, I'm going to share some information specific to beautiful British Columbia. This is where I live and work. The BC Regional Outlook for BC. So there is a website in British Columbia. It's called Work BC. And this is very helpful for people that are newly moving to British Columbia. And every year, it lists what are the top jobs and occupations growing and in demand in BC, projected for every 10 years. Now, as we can see from the screen, positions that are directly accounting and finance related are consistently growing and in demand. This is a 10-year projected outlook. Now, again, regardless of where you decide to immigrate in Canada, you can do a simple Google search for that province to check what is the regional outlook for that province that I decide to immigrate to. Now, a question I like to ask myself or share if I'm doing my own information gathering process. This slide looks great, but okay, what if I decide to pursue CPA? I apply, I enroll. By the time I graduate, will these jobs still be in demand by the time I get my CPA designation? The answer is yes. The CPA professional education program takes about 2.5 years to complete and confer the designation. 2.5 years is well within this 10-year projected outlook. Something to assist with your current information gathering process. Again, regardless of where you decide to immigrate to Canada, please reference the Conference Board of Canada website, which lists articles on COVID-19, implications for Canada and the economic impact. Now, the great thing about this website is they have statistics, articles, and surveys available for the general public for free. The great thing about this website is that it will list the economic outlook for all the provinces and territories in Canada. So if, for example, you are moving to Nova Scotia or Ontario, or Manitoba, you can specifically look at that province that you're moving to check what is the historical economic outlook and also what is the present day outlook now that globally we are all affected by COVID-19. This will very much help with your information gathering process. Now, coming back to our first step, so how do I become a CPA? So like any education program, we have our own admission requirements that we call academic prerequisites. We must complete these academic prerequisites before we get the yes. Yes, we accept you into the CPA professional education program. So what are the academic prerequisites? We call the academic prerequisites admission requirements. We have two admission requirements. The first one, we need to show proof that we have at least a bachelor's degree. Now, we accept Canadian and international degrees. If we have an international degree, we need to show proof that our international degree is equivalent to at least a Canadian bachelor's degree, which is 120 course credits. Now, the age of my degree doesn't matter. The concentration or the major in my degree also doesn't matter. So for example, let's say I went to the University of Hawaii and I did a science degree. What if my science degree is 10 years old? Will it still count towards CPA? Yes. Well, my degree in Hawaii is majoring in sciences. Does that still count? Yes. So for many of us on the line, we may already have at least a bachelor's degree in our home countries. So many of us have already satisfied one out of these two admission requirements, which is fantastic. Now, the second admission requirement is a little bit more specific. We need to show that we've completed 14 specific accounting-related courses that you see on your screen here. Now, if you've completed any accounting-related courses at your college, university, or a higher schooling, we will do an assessment to see, okay, where can we give this person course exemption towards these 14 courses if they took a course that's similar? We need to have achieved a certain grade, of course, before we're granted the course exemption. So a 50% is a pass. A 60% would be about a letter grade of a C. And of course, there is a time limit for when I completed the course for when CPA is allowed to give me this course exemption. Now, how do you know which courses we will grant you a course exemption? How will you know if your degree satisfies our degree requirement? Everyone's first step, once you're finished your information gathering process, is to apply for a CPA transcript assessment. And we tell you exactly what is your starting point towards the CPA program. Now, once we've finished these two admission requirements, we get the yes. Yes, we accept you into the CPA professional education program. We call this program PEP for short, PEP. CPA PEP consists of part-time academic courses, full-time paid work experience in accounting and finance. I'm going to talk about the academics first. So in the CPA PEP program, grand total, there are 6 online modules and 1 large common final exam. Each module is delivered one at a time on a part-time basis. Each module is 2 months long with a standard 3-week break in between. Each module, we have access to our recorded lectures online that we can view and listen to at any time. Each module is officially taught by an instructor, so you're not teaching yourself. When we enroll in a module, we are provided the course syllabus for that entire 2 months. We are provided information on our assignments, our quizzes, both which we submit online, and the readings and the lectures we are supposed to complete in each week. At the end of the module, we are required to write the final exam for that module. Once you're done, brilliant, you take your 3-week break and you enroll into the next module, so on and so forth. Now, the common final exam, also known as CFE, this is a national examination. And the CFE is typically written in September of every year. This is a 3-day examination. Now, the 3-day CFE covers all components of the 6 modules. Essentially, what it is, it's a large business case. Day 1, Day 2, and Day 3 of the CFE, you will be focused on certain and specific components of that business case. Now, that is our part-time responsibility. We're completing these online courses part-time. So what is our full-time responsibility? We have to look for an accounting job. Now, it is our responsibility to find our own accounting job. So you are responsible to apply for the jobs that look of interest to you. It is your responsible to ensure that you have a very competent resume and that you are practiced in your interviewing skills and speech for the Canadian business workplace. Now, for the work experience in accounting and finance, this is your full-time responsibility. This is called practical experience requirements. So we are required to work full-time in accounting, earn salary, and part-time, we're taking the courses online. Now for the work experience, how much work experience do we need to accumulate before we're allowed to graduate and get those CPA letters behind our name? We need to accumulate a grand total of 30 months paid full-time accounting work experience. Now, for those of us on the line, if you have previous accounting work experience in your home country, you can actually transfer 12 months of that work experience into this 30-month work experience requirement. What that means is when you are enrolled in CPA PEP, all you need to do is complete 18 months work experience while being enrolled in the CPA program. I'm going to touch upon some of the resources. So how do we help individuals on the academic side as well as the employment side? For those individuals who are planning their move to beautiful British Columbia, there are two resources that will probably be most helpful for you. The first one is to set up your My CPA profile with us. Your My CPA profile is your master control station. This is how and where you will apply for CPA transcript assessment. This is how you will read the results of your transcript assessment. This is how you will enroll in your first course with us. In your My CPA profile, you also have the option to subscribe to our free online e-newsletter called CPA Career Connect. This e-newsletter will share with you upcoming online events and blogs written by our CPA members, students, and employers who hire CPAs. The second resource, this is for when after you're enrolled in the program and you're officially a student or candidate with us, you will have free access to our CPA BC Careers website to start applying for those accounting positions. Now, if you do plan on moving to a different province or territory in Canada, please check on that CPA provincial office website for their resources as well. Many of the CPA provincial offices also have their own careers website and their own online e-newsletters where you can stay fully connected with them. A great resource provided by CPA Canada is called Guide to Accounting Business Culture. Adapting to the Canadian accounting workplace. I highly encourage individuals after the webinar to go on the CPA Canada website and look for this free interactive online course. Now, the CPA Canada website is very large. This is what I recommend you do. Go on the CPA Canada website in the search engine. Simply type Guide to Accounting Business Culture. It will take you exactly to this page. Now, this page will show you free videos and they're kind of like drama skits that show you what is it like to work in a Canadian business, in a Canadian business culture. For those of us that are immigrating to Canada, and when you are applying for your accounting job and you get accepted for your accounting job with your employer, with that company, that new organization, that is one business work culture. Now, this company, this business work culture is also inside the larger culture of Canada. So it's a culture within a larger culture. This Guide to Accounting Business Culture has really fun videos for you to watch so that it can show you and reflect, this is what it's like to job search in Canada. This is what it's like to handle workplace conflict. Is it appropriate for me to challenge my manager by asking questions or for pointing out my manager's mistakes? Is it okay for me to share my ideas? How do I negotiate salary? Those are some examples that you will see in this Guide to Accounting Business Culture videos. Another great resource from CPA Canada on the academic side, Also the work experience side, it's something called Certification Resource Center. On the CPA Canada website, they list for free for the public past exams, past quizzes for the CPA PEP modules, the common final exam. And remember those prerequisite courses that I was talking about, those 14 prerequisite courses? You also have the option to complete those prerequisite courses directly with CPA. Sometimes people want to know, what are some of the past quizzes and exams from those prerequisite courses? I'm curious. I would like more study materials. This is also available on the CPA Canada website. For those of us who have accounting work experience, you might be curious as to, I wonder how much of my work experience I can transfer into that 30-month work experience requirement. There is a free self-assessment tool also available on the CPA Canada website. There are also great references to show you, how does CPA evaluate work experience? What are the competencies? How much of my work experience is transferable? Do you consider me to be entry level, intermediate level, or senior level? These are competency fact sheets. All this information is available on cpacanada.ca. Again, just go to the CPA Canada website. In the search engine, type Certification Resource Center. It will take you exactly to this page. It's very big. You're going to see a huge table of contents with all these free resources available for free to the public. A person doesn't even have to be enrolled in the program to have access to these free resources. Something else that will greatly assist with your information gathering process, please keep yourself connected with the Government of Canada website, also known as Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, IRCC. The IRCC website is posting on a regular basis updates in regards to COVID-19, immigration, travel bans, citizenship, passport services, study permits, work permits, so on and so forth. Now again, regardless of where you decide to immigrate in Canada, whether it's a province or a territory, you can also check for free provincial settlement agency services available in that Canadian province or territory you decide to move to. So these settlement agencies, the services for you as a newcomer are available to you for free. It can be settlement as in looking for a home, community services, daycare, English language classes for yourself, your spouse, and your children. A great resource to connect all this information for you, again, regardless of where you decide to move to in Canada. Keep yourself up to date on the CPA Canada website. The CPA Canada website will link you to all the CPA provincial offices if you'd like to contact that specific provincial office in the province you decide to move to. So why do we offer all these resources? Well, we hope to play a very small part in your success and journey in attaining that designation, attaining that CPA designation. I'm going to pause there for a moment. I'm going to switch gears. I want to pay a little bit of attention to those individuals who may already be professionally designated accountants in their home country. If you see the name of your professional body on this list, this means that you may follow a different criteria, application process, and eligibility to get the CPA in Canada. So how to apply to the CPA program during times of COVID-19? Depending on which province or territory you decide to immigrate to, these are the websites you are to refer to and contact if you are ready to apply for the CPA transcript assessment. Again, on that CPA Canada website, COVID-19 has altered many factors of the programming in the CPA program. So for example, we used to have in-class workshops for many of our CPA courses and modules. Due to COVID-19, these workshops have been moved to the virtual online format for safety. Now is the questions. Once again, my name is Sheila Chung, Student Recruitment Officer at the Chartered Professional Accountants of British Columbia. Please write down my email address if you have any questions and concerns, regardless if you're deciding to move to another province, I can definitely connect you to that CPA provincial website for your specific contacts. If you are planning on making your move to beautiful British Columbia, please go to our website, which is www.gocpabc.ca. This is my email address. I will now pass the mic back to Monica to moderate the FAQ or for the next presenter. Thank you.
Sheila, great presentation. There is actually one question that came in through the chat.
Sure.
Nigerian Designation CA, Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. What benefits does one have in securing an accounting job in Canada, and what does one need to join CPA Canada?
So I know the CAs of Nigeria, I know there is either a mutual recognition agreement or it's called advanced standing assessment. So typically when people are moving to another country, when we start applying for accounting jobs, you'll find that if you want to apply for a certain level, usually it's senior level accounting positions, you'll find those job postings are asking mandatory, must be CPA designated. So essentially, whichever country we're deciding to move to, it's that country. They want you to hold our country's professional accounting designation. Essentially, what you'll want to do is you want to make sure that your education and your designation is reflective of where you're currently living. So if Canada will be your new home, you're going to find your job search experience will be quite different after you get the CPA designation. Now, let's say you are in the process of applying for assessment, even having the results of that CPA assessment, and let's say you have to do some modules in the professional program because you're an active candidate in the program, you will still find that your job search will be much more elevated because the employer can see what is your relationship to Canada. So a lot of Canadian employers, they do either want to see some sort of Canadian education and or some sort of Canadian work experience. And Canadian work experience might not be directly related to what you're currently doing in your professional career path. It might be a starter job. They just want to see what is your relationship to Canada. So if you can reflect that on your resume, you'll find your job search opportunities will increase quite significantly.
Great, thank you for that answer. Another question came out. Do you need to register for CPA courses if you are looking to do a booking or becoming an accounting technician?
No, you don't. So this is interesting. You actually don't need a CPA designation to do accounting work. It depends on the job description you're applying to. Again, what you'll find is once you start applying for more senior level positions, when you read the job description and the criteria, you're going to see prefer, they'll use that language a lot, prefer someone who's CPA candidate, CPA student, or mandatory CPA designated. So I would say entry level to intermediate type of jobs, you don't need to have the CPA designation to do those jobs at all. But on your resume, you're going to need to show that employer that, well, I have some work experience in accounting. This is why I'm applying for this job. So really, when you start applying for jobs, really take a careful look on the job description and the criteria. If you're able to get the job interview, I would even inquire, what are the opportunities if I decided to pursue my CPA? Or if you do have intention to do CPA, definitely share that in your job interview as well, because you're sharing with the employer, this is my short-term and long-term goals, right? Because the employer also has their own short and long-term goals. So once you're in with the employer, they may be able to share their long-term goals within their finance and accounting team with you.
Great, thanks for that answer. Another question came is, where can someone go to find more information on bridging programs for IEP accountants?
IEP accountants, can you clarify that acronym? I'm not quite familiar. IEP. Oh, internationally educated professional accountants?
Yeah.
Bridging programs. So the bridging programs, so if you're referring to those mutual recognition agreements, so what you'll want to do is go on the CPA Canada website. And in the search engine, you want to click on Become a CPA, internationally designated accountants or professionally designated accountants, and they list it by professional accounting body internationally, or they list it by country. Those are the professional accounting designations that CPA Canada has either a mutual recognition agreement with, or a memorandum of understanding, or advanced standing assessment. Those are the ones that will have a formal agreement. So when you apply, or when you read that page, it will list the eligibility criteria and the application process for you. Now, let's say, well, I don't see my professional body there or my country. What that means is your first step, you have to apply for a regular CPA transcript assessment. This means that you will be applying and assessed as a regular applicant to the CPA Professional Education Program.
Okay, great. And the final question is, if I've done one CA intermediate, but didn't complete the CA in India, do I need to start back from the beginning?
Yes, you do need to start back from the beginning. So the mutual recognition agreement and the memorandum of understanding is only active for full members. So this means you are a member, you hold that ICAI designation, you've completed all the education, all the examinations, all the work experience to hold that CA designation. Anyone who's partially completed or they have some stuff pending, you would be applying as a regular applicant for the regular CPA transcript assessment.
Great, thank you so much, and great presentation, and thank you for answering all those questions. Very useful and insightful.
Thank you, Monica.
So next up, to join on the Canadian Immigrant web conference series for accounting and finance professionals, sponsored by Windmill Microlending, is Catherine Steele. Catherine is known as an international as a clear communicator, is a speaker, coach, consultant who trains corporate teams and individuals on the clear speaking skills necessary to be competitive in today's global marketplace. Her experience coaching over 7,000 clients on pronunciation for personal and professional success have made her one of the most sought after speakers on pronunciation in Canada. Again, if you have any questions for Catherine, please feel free to type them in the chat by clicking the chat or Q&A button and typing them on the right-hand side, and we will answer them after the presentation. You can also email us at info@canadianimmigrant.ca. We are thrilled to have Catherine. Please take it away.
Hello, everyone. I'll just organize my slides. I'm very happy to be here. And let's see, here's my share screen. All right, do you see my screen?
Yep, I see it, Catherine.
Wonderful. All right. As Monica mentioned, I'm Catherine Steele. My company is English Pronunciation for Success, and I'm very happy to be here with Canadian Immigrant and CPA BC. I am going to be talking about which communication style attracts more accounting clients in Canada. So when we think about this, we know that there are all manner of accountants and financial professionals out there, and there are all manner of clients. So what do I mean by which communication style attracts more accounting clients in Canada? Let's have a look. In this brief overview of communication issues related to your industry, I will uncover surprising challenges faced by your Canadian listeners, clarify the reason that these are such serious issues, and suggest strategies to address the problem immediately. This presentation is for you if you hope to work in accounting in Canada, if you'll be in direct contact with clients, and if you know that you'll be working with other members of the accounting profession. You're going to learn which areas of communication support your speaking goals in the field of accounting. So how do you adjust to the needs of your audience? How do you support your listener? And how do you develop core skills to deliver your key message quickly and easily? In this presentation, you will learn how your pronunciation of numbers can affect future business, what's getting in the way of Canadians understanding key accounting terms quickly and easily, and how to help clients follow your financial discussion more confidently. Here we go. How does your pronunciation of numbers affect future business? Number confusion. As an accountant, you are much more comfortable with numbers than the average person. Amounts, time, dates, frequency, currency, calculations, tax implications, risk, and penalties. These are all things that involve numbers and that are comfortable to someone who works with this on a daily basis. It's not the case for the average Canadian. Misunderstandings due to problems with emphasis can damage your accounting career. So let's look at emphasis. I have an anecdote about a trip that I took and a conversation that I had where the numbers involved did not go well. I bought juice at the airport and I was asked for $1.99. However, when I gave the cashier a toonie, which is a Canadian $2 coin, she showed me the total, $3.99. Now I know that if you buy something at the airport, it's going to be much more expensive than it would be in some other situation. That's the cost of purchasing something at the airport. However, that was much more than I was expecting to pay based on what she said to me. Let's look at what happened. Where was the misunderstanding? Emphasis and expected phrasing. She said $3.99. I couldn't hear the 3, and there was something strange about that particular phrase. To be clear that it was more than $1, she needed to emphasize the word 3, add S to dollars, and add the word cents, or say $3.99. So $1.99 is definitely $1. $3.99 is $3. We don't actually say dollars. If we want to say dollars, we have to balance it with cents if it's more than $1. So $1.99 is 1. $2.99 is 2. And so this would be $3.99 or $3.99. When you're talking about someone's wealth, be sure to emphasize the end of each part of the numerical phrase. So you've got a little phrase, and the loudest part, the emphasis, is at the end. So here we have a percentage. What we would say is 2.1%. The percent is the end of the phrase, and it's the loudest. The 1 is the end of the number. So even though the 2 is the larger portion of the number, it's the 0.1 that ends the phrase. So 2.1%. Let's look at the date. By April 30th. That's the end of the phrase. And then we're going to compare the following two. 139 in capital versus 139,000 in capital gains. So you can see if I don't hear the loudest portion that you're thinking about, then I'm going to be confused. I'm going to stop and put my emphasis where your loudest point is. So 100,039 in capital gains will not work. I will hear 139 in capital instead of 139,000 in capital gains. So what's getting in the way of Canadians understanding key accounting terms quickly and easily? We have our own vocabulary, our own jargon, and there are things in accounting that seem fairly standard that, unlike IT, the tech sector, may not be as confusing. They're fairly standard terms. So how can they be misunderstood? Unfortunately, in North American English, there is always another word that sounds the same or very similar to the one that you're trying to say. Here's something. Because you are a professional with a high level of English, your listeners will do you the courtesy of believing what you say when you say it. And so this is something that is encouraging and yet can cause you problems. When they doubt your accuracy in English, they doubt your accuracy in other areas as well, including accuracy with numbers. And when people start to doubt you, it hurts your confidence and it hurts your career chances. So when you say something like assets, people may hear asses, or the meaning may change due to word stress. So let's look at word stress. Assets versus assess. Do you see where the stress point is changing? Corporation versus cope or ration or ration. Insolvency versus insolvent. See? Expenditure versus expand a tour. Realize versus realize. You need to be very careful in your word stress. Many of those alternative answers that I've listed are negative. So how can you help clients follow your financial discussion more confidently? You love numbers and they make sense to you. So it's all too easy to go more quickly than the person can handle. Despite the deadlines, make sure that it doesn't feel like a race to your client. This is more than a math class. It is someone's life and livelihood. So use at least 3 methods to get your message across: written, spoken, and tactile. Yes, tactile. Let's look at this. You're going to manage the fear of people who hate numbers. Mathematical anxiety is, well, it's clear in the term, anxiety about one's ability to do mathematics. So, prepare written statements with a summary and areas of concern. What to you is obviously an area of immediate concern based on the numbers will not be clear to your client. They can't interpret it that way. They will need you to interpret the information and explain the deadlines, the dangers, and the responsibilities. Clearly outline what the action items could be and should be. Use color coding. Use different fonts. Use underlining. Use bold. You're trying to approach it from as many angles as you can to trigger a response that makes sense for your listener. Make the important sections as clear as possible. Get your listener to write things out. Do the computation, do the math, do the calculation, etc. You'll be able to see how quickly or slowly they need you to go to grasp the next part of your presentation or to implement your suggestions regarding their finances. Understand the concern that your clients may feel. I really like these quotations. At times, clients either have negative past experience or personal issues going on. Don't be afraid to ask if everything is okay. You never know if the client just needs an ear to listen. This act of kindness proves you not only care about their finances, but you also care about them as a person. Clients are often concerned with costly errors and embarrassed by their lack of skill with numbers. Diffuse your listeners' fears. People don't always have someone they can trust with the intimate details of their debt, taxes, and wealth. Arrange a meeting to go over areas of concern in person. And I know with the pandemic, we don't have the opportunity to meet in person in most cases. A Zoom conference call will be just as helpful because they can see you, They can analyze your expression. You can share screens. It's a very helpful way to do it. Offer your client as many ways to absorb this information as possible, beyond written and spoken. Diagrams, gestures, facial expressions of concern, excitement, anger, confusion, etc. It all helps. Help to get the message across to someone whose language isn't numbers. You are teaching a new language at the same time as you're saving someone from personal or professional financial difficulties. Protect yourself and your client by giving firm legal deadlines and even firmer personal deadlines. You don't want to receive all of your client's paperwork the night before the deadline. So careful advanced scheduling with a hard deadline on your part is helpful to both of you. By versus until. Please note that by suggests more urgency than until. By suggests that your client faces a penalty. Bye-bye opportunity. And until suggests that your client still has time. Use grammar that supports important warnings. This is the time to write and loudly say words such as must, have to, be sure to, can't, can never, absolutely never, beware, avoid, cost, risk, penalty, against the law, lose your business, prison sentence. How would Canadians describe your speaking style? Let's recap. How does your pronunciation of numbers affect future business? This is an emphasis point. Make sure that the end of the numerical phrase is the loudest part. What's getting in the way of Canadians understanding key accounting terms quickly and easily? Word stress. Make sure that you know which part of the word has the loudest sound. How can you help clients follow your financial discussion more confidently? Delivery. Use as many styles of delivery as you can, and be sure to be animated in your facial features, in your gestures, color coding, written, spoken. It will all help. It will make an impact and help your listener understand you well. I invite you to stay connected to learn more about Canadian communication topics. I have a monthly webinar that's free to you. And when you click on the link, I encourage you to go to that link to stay connected with me and learn a little bit more about why Canadians are having problems understanding people from other parts of the world. If you have questions, now is the time. I'm going to encourage you to stay connected with me over LinkedIn. Please be sure to leave me a message. I do not connect with people who don't leave me a note. And I also encourage phone calls or texts. I've left my phone number there for you.
Thank you so much for that great presentation, Catherine. So we do have a question for you that came in. The biggest struggles is I find myself stumbling for the correct English word when presenting in front of clients. In everyday speak, I don't have the same issues. Any tips you can offer?
Your client doesn't know about accounting. They know what they're going through. So you can relax about all of the accounting terms. What I would focus on, of course, is the type of vocabulary that will connect them to you emotionally. Words that show that you care, that you understand, and that you're willing to help them understand more easily, more clearly, that you will take time with them. We all hesitate and think about our words. You are allowed to have that time in the same way that your client is allowed to have time to understand and ask questions about accounting. So just relax and feel free. They are relying on you for your numbers ability and your legal knowledge, and they will accept uncertainty in vocabulary. That will be fine.
Great. Thank you so much. And that was the one question that we had. And great presentation. I learned a lot about pronunciation too.
That's wonderful. I wish everyone all the very best to your success.
So our final speaker for the day at our Canadian Immigrant Web Conference Series for International Trained Accountant and Finance Professionals, sponsored by Windmill Microlending, is Murali Murthy. Murali is a creative director and advertising strategist and holds a master's in communication and has held senior positions at a variety of agencies, including JWT, TMP, Bonsall and Bates in diverse markets across North America, Europe, and Asia. In the recent past, he has developed and directed award-winning sites and interactive projects for Rogers, Scotiabank, TD Canada Trust, and RIM, to name a few. Murali has also volunteered his time with CAMP, Communications Advertising Marketing Professionals, Canada's first volunteer organization for the marketing fraternity. As chairperson, he helps new Canadian integrate into the job market sooner by providing industry-tested tools, resources, and mentorship. If you have any questions for Murali, please feel free to type them in the chat by clicking the chat button and typing them on the right-hand side. Thank you for joining us, Murali. Please take it away.
Okay. Thank you, Monica. That was a beautiful introduction. It's nice to see you online, of course, but after a long time. And Catherine, that was a great speech. We all need to brush up our communication skills once in a while. It was very timely. And thanks to everyone. Thanks to all our participants. And thanks to Ricky, Laura, Ramya, and everyone for putting this together for all of us. So guys, my friends, today our focus is on leveraging the power of LinkedIn. We'll take the next 20-25 minutes and we'll talk about why LinkedIn is very important as we progress. Now, you could be a new immigrant right now on this call, just landed in Canada. You could be a student who's just graduated. You might be a professional who's trying to, get a foothold into the Canadian industry or wishing to move up the ranks. You could be a business owner. You could be a small business owner. You could be a medium business owner or a corporation or the head of a corporation who wishes to leverage social media, LinkedIn especially, to attract more clients. It doesn't matter in which area you are in right now. We all need LinkedIn. Very essential for us in the 21st century, post-COVID, post the pandemic, 10 times more effective than before. But for everyone, and especially because this Canadian immigrant, we're talking a lot to immigrants here, it is very essential that we get right into, what is LinkedIn and how it can provide us the success and the progress we deserve. And so let me get on into sharing. So here we go. I am going to do the slide share is on. And as you can all see, this is the slide. I hope you get it. The chat box is also open. You can also use the chat box to ask questions. We'll go very quickly. We are going to cover 15 points that can help you optimize, maximize the power of LinkedIn and how it can help you in every area of life. I presume the starting point for everything is, I presume you have a LinkedIn account. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, it takes you exactly 5 minutes. That's it. Go to linkedin.com, preferably use a Gmail because that works best, but any email would do. Enter your phone number, email, and your details, and you're set. LinkedIn is a free platform. It is owned by Microsoft, and it is a great tool. It is actually the largest and the greatest and the most powerful network for professionals. So that you can do right away, linkedin.com. But we are going to proceed right now, assuming that everyone here has a LinkedIn account. All right. So our timing starts now. Let's go. 15 steps to leverage, optimize, and maximize your LinkedIn. And so give me a second. Okay. LinkedIn.com, you can can do this to everyone, to all panelists and attendees. Okay. Once again, let me type it again. LinkedIn.com is a free platform. All right, guys. So any questions you have? Okay. So if you have any questions, feel free to use the chat box. I'll be watching it closely. And so let's go. 15 steps to optimize, maximize, and leverage the power of LinkedIn. A little about me. Monica did introduce. Uh, that's me. That's my website, aceworldfoundation.com. I'm primarily a LinkedIn coach, a business branding coach. That's all I do. I help you unleash the wow within. There are books I've written. They're available on Amazon, especially You Are Hired if you're looking for a job. That's a book that's coming out using social media, LinkedIn, and branding. Those are some of my clients. I've traveled around the world. This is what I do. And the focus, of course, is on you right now. Let me help you unlock the power of LinkedIn. A little statistics about LinkedIn. Take 10 seconds to go through all of this. LinkedIn has more than 500 million members globally, all over the world. It's owned by Microsoft, as I just mentioned. Pretty much men and women both use it, professionals on other sites. Currently, this might interest you if you're looking for a job. Even as we speak, there are 10 million active jobs on LinkedIn currently. There are recruiters and hiring managers looking for you, right? Are you available? And that's so important. And what do you do to get found by them? Every second, 2 people join LinkedIn. There, just now 2 people join LinkedIn. So join LinkedIn and don't get left behind. Once again, take 5 seconds to read this quote. It's very important as we progress. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write. Everyone knows to read or write. But the illiterate will be those who cannot unlearn and then relearn. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. Why am I saying this? As we progress, I will find some resistance. But Murli, I've always done this way. I've always been told to do that way. Well, all that's great, but it's 2020. We are in the last quarter of 2020. The year has flown by. Post-pandemic, this is the new normal. A lot of things have to change. And this quote by Alvin Toffler, though written a few years back, it's very relevant right now. This is something I picked off the internet. Guys, everything I'm going to share with you is not something I designed. I picked it off the internet. It's available on Google, on any internet research. If I couldn't find it, you can find it. So what are we looking at here? Your online credibility is determined by your income is determined by your online credibility. Your online credibility determines your online income. When your name is typed, because recruiters and hiring managers and clients and customers will type your name or your brand name or your service name. Will it show up? Will it show up favorably? And that's the first sentence in the book, Guerrilla Marketing. And so I hope you understand how important it is to have a robust online profile. 15 steps to have a very scintillating, fascinating LinkedIn profile. Step number 1, it's very easy, but people get it wrong. Please, my friends, have a picture. Do not have a LinkedIn profile without a picture. We know this. People judge a book by its cover. They will judge you by the cover. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Even then, I'm surprised people get it wrong. The first thing you upload on your LinkedIn profile is your picture. Get off to a good start with a good headshot. A picture is not one that you took at Niagara Falls and a selfie with the falls. That's not appropriate for LinkedIn. For any other platform, yes, but for LinkedIn, you want a professional picture. Here are some pictures that I picked up from LinkedIn. These are LinkedIn pictures, guys. This is how you should look. Men and women both dress professionally, look in the camera, smile, preferably neck up. Because people want to see you, people are looking to hire you, people are willing to buy from you, so they need to look at you. So, well, you might say, but Murli, this is COVID and the pandemic, I can't find a good photographer. Well, Take a professional headshot with a smart headphone. Our smartphones can do great jobs. So please make sure, give it to someone and just stand against a white wall and there you go. That's a good picture. Step number 2, just the name, not Robert the Ninja. People do this crazy thing. Just your name. Sure, you can add a qualification like a PhD degree or a PhD or a PMP, any other degree, or you're a doctor, an MD. Your name and then the degree or the designation is fine, but that's about it. Do not mess it up, because many times, this is my smartphone here, people make a decision on this screen. Most probably, I hope you have downloaded the LinkedIn app. Download the LinkedIn app, see how your profile shows up, because that is exactly how people view you. Your name, a picture, and a smart line. So your name should be just succinct to fit into a mobile screen. Don't overdo it, just your name. First impressions are the best impressions. Step number 3, and we might spend a little more time on it, a strong headline. A headline, LinkedIn gives you the option to tell the world what you want to say about yourself. Now you can use the opportunity to say looking for an opportunity. That would be weak. Or you can offer a value proposition. Hey, this is what I can bring to the table. Talk about your strength, your skills, and your specialities, what you've done in the past. Turn it into a slogan for yourself. Remember, I always have this question, whether people talk to you or not. Even before they talk to you, we have made an impression. When people see you, when people see me, they have made an impression. And people always have 2 questions. I wish everyone had a thought blurb and we could see the questions. The questions are, why you, so what? So your LinkedIn profile must answer, so what? In fact, everything about you on social media should answer, so what? But LinkedIn, your title, so what? What will happen if I hire you? What will happen if I recruit you into my company? What will happen if I buy from your product? What will happen if I, the customer, choose you over someone else? The so what has to be answered in the form of an inspiring line. I came across this image on LinkedIn, on Google. I chanced upon this because I read on Google that an average recruiter spends 6 seconds per resume. Let me repeat again, an average recruiter spends 6 seconds, 5 to 6 seconds per resume. Okay, and that's why, because recruiters get hundreds and thousands of resumes. They have no idea how to go through all the resumes. They might go through yours if you impress them in the first 6 seconds. And so I made it a mission to find out what exactly do they look for in the 6 seconds. Google had an answer. In the first 6 seconds, recruiters are looking for leadership, problem solving skills, and written communication skills. Your LinkedIn headline is the perfect opportunity to demonstrate leadership, communication, and problem solving, right? This might be helpful if you're looking for a job. But hey, even if you're a business person, clients and customers want to know how you will solve the problem. Look, nobody goes to Home Depot to buy a drill. Nobody's interested in buying a drill. People want to drill a hole. You see what I'm saying? Do not sell your skill. Sell the solution. Sell the answer to your skill. Right? People don't buy multivitamins because they like the color of the bottle. They buy a multivitamin for better health. Always offer the solution to what will happen if you are hired. That's problem solving. Like I said, people don't care about what you do, about who you are. They care about the solutions. Be the solutions they seek. Be it you, me, the president of the country, the janitor sweeping the floor. We are all hired to solve a problem. We get paid for solve a problem. You could be a project manager, an engineer, a doctor, an admin person, a student. Show how you can solve a problem on your LinkedIn headline, and your hiring chances get better. This is something I picked off Google. A successful LinkedIn headline should tell me your value proposition. So what? So then I said, okay, so let's look up LinkedIn. Who can teach us how to do LinkedIn headlines? Hey, how about LinkedIn consultants, people who work at LinkedIn? That could be a good idea. And so I googled LinkedIn consultants and this name showed up, Anita Windisman. You can look her up right now, Anita Windisman. And all she says is enabling B2B sales teams to find prospects on LinkedIn to achieve quota. You see what I'm saying? Hey, she's looking for a job as well. She's looking for the next contract, but she did not waste the time to say looking for the next contract. James Bond needs your money. He's not saying please watch my movie. He says my name is Bond, James Bond. Perceived solution in the headline, you know. And so look at the picture she has, smiling, gregarious, looking in the camera. That's the kind of picture you want. I hope this made some sense. Let's go forward. I looked up another LinkedIn consultant, Dorothy Lazovic, helping leaders prioritize their to-be list. I like the word helping. You know, Anita does enabling, helping. That's a good start. Helping, enabling, delivering, transforming. You know, these are words you can use in your LinkedIn title. Let me type this, okay? Enabling. These are just examples that I've given you, okay? Words you can use in your LinkedIn title. Enabling, helping, delivering, transforming, creating, building, connecting. You know, if you're an HR person, connecting top candidates to top organizations. Just an idea. You know, if you're a marketing person, a project manager, delivering high value products and services to affect bottom lines. You see what I'm saying? Well, I looked up Anita and Dorothy. I fixed my LinkedIn too. If you have to Google me, this is what you will find. Hi, my name is Murali Murthy. I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach. If I stop there, if I stop just saying I'm an author, speaker, and a coach, you might say, so what? I have to complete the loop. And so I say building brands, building people, and that's all I do. So make sure your LinkedIn title conveys the promise of a good hire, the promise of a great candidate. Okay, let's move on. These are some other examples I picked up. Don't fall short and just say I am so and so. Focus on action verbs. I'm a social media expert. No, I'm a social media expert with a proven track record of helping brand, blah, blah, blah. I'm an experienced financial advisor. Go beyond. Known for helping, educating, and supporting clients. Showing what you do is a powerful way to start a title. Okay, next line. Step number 4, status updates. I want you to understand, if you're looking to find prospects on LinkedIn, if you're trying to look up hiring managers or who's hiring me, remember what I'm just going to say. You do 50% of the work, LinkedIn does 50% of the work. You don't have to do all the heavy lifting yourself. Do a good profile. LinkedIn will arrange status updates according to the keywords in your profile and give you top ranking. I always say this to my clients. If you had a toothache and you were to type looking for a dentist, maybe 1,000 show up, maybe 5,000 show up. Do you go through all the pages? No. You go through the first page or maybe the second page. What if I told you the dentist for you was actually on page 7, but neither did you make the effort to go to page 7, neither did Mr. Dentist on page 7 make the effort to come to page 1. And so you picked your choice from the list on page 1 or 2. That's how it works. If you do it right, LinkedIn will do status update that will take you to the top ranking. Check your LinkedIn status. Is it intermediate? Is it average? It is starter or is it all star? My job is to help you take you from intermediate to all star. If you do the 15 steps right, you can go to all star ranking, which according to LinkedIn research itself gives 40% more search potential if you are just an average person. Okay, so go to an all-star rating and ranking on LinkedIn. Cause and effect. That's a beautiful line by the founder of Omron, Kazuma Tateshi. If you want to create a certain result, you must create the conditions for the result to occur. If you want a certain response, create the stimulus for the response to occur. Action, reaction. If you want to get hired, create the condition that will make it easier for you to be hired. Okay, stimulus response. Step number 5, recommendations. Have lots of recommendations, my friends. You might say you are a great project manager, but if 5 other people tell me that you're a great project manager, I am listening. The people you work with, your ex-colleagues, your ex-boss, wherever you come from, remember every second 2 people join LinkedIn. A lot of people are on LinkedIn. Ask them to write a recommendation. LinkedIn actually gives you a template on how to write a recommendation. Send it to them and you will get back a recommendation that you can post. You cannot cut paste a recommendation from an email and put it there. It has to come on LinkedIn. So make sure you follow the process correctly. This is the new definition of branding in the 21st century. Branding is no longer who I am and what I do and blah, blah, blah. Branding is always about what others think about you. You and I buy smartphones because others told us it's good. You and I watch movies because reviews said it was good, not the director. Right? You and I buy books because Amazon says it's good, not the author. Branding is what other people are talking about us. You get hired most often because of the aura surrounding you, people talking nice things about you. So please remember recommendation. Step number 6, connections. Now that you're on a LinkedIn profile, start building connections in your industry. I come from a marketing background. Guess who my connections are? Marketing people. If you are in IT, look up IT recruiters Toronto or Brampton, wherever you are, or Ottawa or Montreal, and build a connection of people in your field, in your industry, preferably in your locality, in your area, not Boston, not Seattle. They're all good, but you want to get hired and you want to be in close connection with people in your field. Okay, remember this line. It's not what you know, it's who you know. I hope you heard that. I have a third version of that. It's not what you know, it's not even who you know, it's who knows you. A lot of people get jobs on LinkedIn or through LinkedIn because some recruiter, some hiring manager recommended them. You want to be recommended. Be the hunted, not the hunter. There is no joy going after, recruiters and hiring managers as a hunter. Stay back, be the hunted. Do your profile so well, become magnetic, and people get drawn to you. All right. So building connections in your industry becomes very important. That, my friend, is our digital era. The high tech is provided by LinkedIn. The high touch you got to provide. High tech and high touch. Smart website names. We might skip this. If you have a website, have a smart. You might be a realtor. Don't say remax.com/David. You could say the friendliest realtor in town.com, something like that. Have a website if you have one. LinkedIn with your expertise. And when people type, let's type Immigration Canada. Guess which site comes up? Immigration.ca. If I type Canadian Immigrant, guess what comes up? CanadianImmigrant.ca. That is a smart website, a benefit in your title. And that, my friend, is exactly what happens. A clip from Jerry Maguire I had to put in here. Recruiters and hiring managers and your clients and customers say, wow, we like you already. You had me at hello. You want to be in that position if you're looking for a job or a client or a customer. Step number 8. Until now, we spoke about building the title. Building the title, the picture, and the personality, the connections, and the recommendations. Now we go into the main meat. If the first few points were how to build your trailer, this is the movie. You have a section called About. You got to fill up all the sections. Make sure it is keyword rich in your industry. You're writing a personalized story, not in third person, in first person, how you can be a solution provider. Who can we look up to, for example? Hey, how about Anita and Dorothy, our LinkedIn friends? A message without emotion. Before I go to Anita, is no emotion. If you don't pack emotion in your summary, you are like the parked car out there. It's not moving. Your message has no emotion and no motion. So here is Anita Windisman. We looked at a title, we liked it. Let's look at a summary. LinkedIn people know how to nail it, how to do it right. Look how she's writing. Need to boost your sales pipeline. As a former LinkedIn employee, I can do this, I can do this. As a LinkedIn expert, my specialty, solve a problem. Identify a problem, solve it. You be the solution creator, the problem solver. That is how a summary is done. This is Dorothy. We saw her headline. The most powerful form is blah, blah, blah as a personal brand strategist. Take pride in who you are and what you do and how you can solve a problem. I looked up Dorothy and Anita. I wrote my profile. Ready to take your personal brand from okay to wow? Well, these are 5 steps you do. Get in touch with me. A strong headline followed by a strong summary, and it has to have keywords in your industry. Step number 9, awards and honors. Very important. I am an author versus I am a best-selling author makes a lot of difference. I am a project manager looking for a job versus I am an award-winning project manager makes a lot of difference. This is not a point to be shy. Okay, you can't be shy and try to get a job. You got to project your skills. You're not lying. Say the truth, but be proud of who you are. LinkedIn actually has a section where you can put all your awards and the honors and the certificates you received. You can display them in picture. You can write about them. So if you're an award winning anything in your field, please show it. People like to hire award winning professionals. This is a section in LinkedIn. Your education, add school, add everything. The language you know, add it. Fill every room that LinkedIn gives you. Volunteer experience, definitely. In Canada, it is highly respected and regarded. In fact, if you're looking for a job right now, I would tell you go volunteer right away. Ask the people at Canadian Immigrant how you can volunteer. They might have some options for you. They might recommend some people to you. There are articles on Canadian Immigrant that talk about volunteering. So definitely do volunteering. The organization that you've worked for. And finally, as you can see, honors and awards. Please take it seriously. Your life, add value to it. Display an honor or an award you won. And this exactly what happens. I use the word magnetic. You become magnetic. LinkedIn and social media is not about going chasing recruiters with a spear. It's about become magnetic and people come to you closely. Okay, so become magnetic. Step number 2, LinkedIn. LinkedIn gives you an option to add 50 skills to your portfolio. These skills are free. If LinkedIn gives you 50 skills that are free, guess how many should you pick up? 10, 20, 49? No, why not 50? Take the whole set, all right? Take the whole buffet. Every skill that you add to your profile increases your Google ranking. It's like a highway on the it's like a banner on the information highway. So keep adding skills. Now you might say, but Murli, I don't have all the skills. Remember, in Canada and the USA, you are hired for your soft skills. So add a lot of soft skills to your repertoire. Remember the image I showed you on the one I found on Google? Problem solving, communication, leadership, teamwork, initiative, digital. Add all the skills you can. Well, if you don't have a skill right now, learn it, study it, and then add it. Because when you add a skill, your Google rankings go up. People in your network get a chance to endorse you. And when they endorse you, your ranking goes up even more. Add all these skills, technical, soft skills, tangible, intangible. A skill is a skill, add it. And this is how your page looks. The more skills you have, you see this, more people are endorsing you. It is good for your self-image. It is good for your LinkedIn ranking. So please, 50 skills, 50, add all the 50 skills. Let's move on. Step number 11, offer massive value. We all human, you might be from Argentina right now, from China, from India, from Canada, from USA, from Africa, doesn't matter. All over the world, we love free. Buy one, get one free. Your LinkedIn profile is a buy one. Your resume is a buy one. What is your competitive advantage? I see there are over 80 to 85 people on the call. Everyone's got a LinkedIn profile. What's your competitive advantage? Any job you look for, there are over 100 people applying for the same job. They all have a LinkedIn profile. What's your competitive advantage? Your competitive advantage, let me type it down, is Your competitive advantage is always, always, always the higher value you offer. In other words, apply the buy one, get one free approach. Murli, what exactly does it mean? Here's an example. Hey, my name is Murli. I have a LinkedIn profile. I build people, I build brands, and I offer a lot of value. And if you have to ask me, so what, Murli? The free offer is coming. Hey, by the way, I also write blog articles on CanadianImmigrant.ca. You just have to go on the Canadian Immigrant website, look up columnists on top, and you will see my profile the second. You can click on it, and every month I write one blog article on Canadian Immigrant. There, my LinkedIn profile was my buy one. My articles on Canadian Immigrant was the get free offer. Buy one, get one free positions you as an expert, not as a candidate. Okay, that's exactly what I do and what I would recommend. Offer value. The more content you put out on social media, the more your rankings go up. Okay, so offer value. When you offer value, there is something called the customer experience. There's a Steve Jobs line. People are enamored of you. They say, wow, and the customer experience kicks in. You are delivering a customer experience. Remember, I'm not buying a drill. I'm buying an opportunity to drill a hole. I'm not buying a multivitamin. I'm buying a product to better my health. People are not hiring you. They're hiring a customer experience to solve the problem. Buy one, get one free helps you offer the customer experience. In the age of COVID and post-pandemic, this is a Zoom era. You have to stimulate the senses. Lean in, smile if you're doing video calls, do a facial expression, stimulate all the senses, my friend. Not me, a quote by Henrik Fischer. In today's digital environment, if you're not commenting, you're not connecting. Be active on your social media profile. Your social media profile needs to be watered every day. It's a plant. You cannot just set up a LinkedIn profile and sit idle. Keep watering, keep adding value, share a post, share an industry article, something, keep doing something. A few more statistics. I know we have 2 more minutes to go. Few more statistics. 11 times your profile is read increase when you add a picture to an article or something you share. Imagine what will happen if you share a video, right? Professionals are on LinkedIn. 1 in 20 LinkedIn profiles belong to recruiters. They are looking at you. All right. Mobile. It's the world of the mobile. Have the LinkedIn app. 41% of LinkedIn visits are on mobile. Blog. I just spoke about it. Please get on a blog. Blogger.com, blogpost.com, wordpress.com. There are innumerable free blog sites. You don't have to be an expert, but write something about your industry, add value. These are blog posts I just picked up off the internet. Look at them. This lady is Pam, writing blogs. Who else? Katie. This is how our about page looks, and suddenly we say, wow. Visibility, credibility, acceptability. If you're a businessman, visibility, credibility, profitability. Businessman or businesswoman, visibility, credibility, profitability. Job seeker, visibility, credibility through this, and then acceptability. Write a blog. And when you write a blog, you actually trust goes up. When the trust account is high, communication becomes easier. Trust is the foundation. Videos, my friends, I cannot stress enough on this. Google is the #1 search engine. YouTube is the second largest search engine. Please add videos to your posts. YouTube. This is called LinkedIn Marketing Minute. People have 1 minute to share their expertise. I have over 23 videos that I share on LinkedIn. Okay, learn to promote projects. Whatever you do, be promoting on the home search engine. Okay, LinkedIn itself does a great job. The LinkedIn Marketing Minute. These are 1 minute videos from LinkedIn. And guess what they're doing? They're promoting it heavily. That could be you out there. A recruiter or hiring manager sees a video of you. He's got the whole 9 yards. He's not looking at a paper resume. The best way to put your foot forward is through a video, my friend, the second largest search engine in the world. And we come to the last point. We are exactly at 2:25. Tell me and I'll forget. Show me, I may remember. Involve me, I'll understand. Don't tell people what to do. Involve them through video. They'll understand. Okay, create content. We spoke about this. Use images. You can ask a lot of questions. Post YouTube videos. Be responsive. Keep measuring. Is the ranking going up? Keep measuring. And the last point, LinkedIn has created groups, a community. You might be an IT person. Create or join an IT group Toronto. You might be marketing. Join marketing group Toronto. You know, Monica mentioned, thank you, Monica, once again. I run a marketing group called Canadian Association of Marketing Professionals, campnetworking.ca. Well, that's a group you can join. You can join the Canadian Immigrant group itself. Okay, join groups. LinkedIn. This is a LinkedIn image, and that is exactly how it feels. You came into the inner circle. When you go into the inner circle, people in the group may have a job just for you. They might say, hey, I know someone who's hiring. Join groups. You join a community. An image I picked off Google right now. LinkedIn currently has more than 2 million groups, 8,000 being added every day, 200 conversations happening every minute. Every minute, over 200 conversations are happening. You cannot afford not to be part of a LinkedIn group. We are done, my friends. Change is inevitable, growth is optional. Well, change happened, the pandemic happened. But will you grow out of it? That's your choice. Murli, how do I become great? Take the first step. You have to start to be great. That's a beautiful quote by Zig Ziglar. Here we go quickly, a quick checklist. Picture perfect, just the name, strong headline, status updates, recommendations, connections, smart websites, keyword rich summary, add skills, offer massive value always, portray awards, blogs, promote projects, and join groups. There I'm done. Monica, I'm done with that. That is my contact details, my friend. 416-937-1235. And just like Catherine said, connect with me on LinkedIn. Okay, feel free with me. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. If you want any other help, it's all free. It's a voluntary service done by us for the Canadian Immigrant. Thank you very much. And back to you, Monica.
Murali, what a great presentation. And I learned so much about even updating my own profile. So I'm definitely going to take those tips with me. So we did have one question. Someone asked, they haven't started a LinkedIn profile yet. Do you think it's a must for entering the job market?
Yes, and yes. For whoever asked the question, for one, it's free. Okay, get it. Okay. I always say this, Monica, let's say someone wants to join a company. I'm just taking an ideal. Maybe the person is a finance person and they want to join RBC. And I always say that look up their website. They're connected on all social media profile. It could be IBM, Pepsi, Procter & Gamble, RBC, just a random name, Nestle. The organization you want to work for is on multiple social media platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Why not you? At least the least you can do is get on LinkedIn. It's very important because, Monica, recruiters are looking up for candidates all the time on LinkedIn, on social media. They're reading up social media profiles and they do the shortlisting. So whoever asked this question, your profile will be shortlisted by a recruiter, not through your paper resume. These days, it's the age of the mobile, the internet, the digital, the artificial intelligence, the social media. So the answer is yes, Monica. Please get on LinkedIn and brush up your profile.
Thank you so much for that answer. So I want to thank you everyone for attending the web conference series presented by Windmill Microlending. Special thanks to Sheila, Catherine, Murali for joining us today and sharing their skills and expertise with everyone. Thanks again to our sponsor, Windmill Microlending and Catherine Steele. If you missed anything in this web conference, will be posted on our website for rewatch. And if you have any questions, you can email us at info@canadianimmigrant.ca. Our next web conference happening September 24th for the Internationally Trained Engineer Professional. We look forward to seeing everyone again soon. Thanks again.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.